Right, we're up and running. Welcome everybody. Let me just tell everyone that we're here. So, let me get up the standings and see where we're at. Nearly at the halfway point of the season. This is the first of a couple of double points races at the end of round 4 and round 8 as well. Our double points 90-minute races instead of the usual 60 as well. We're just setting what is going to be an incredibly long outlap for everyone because we are around the Nordschleife, the very long version of Nordschleife that includes the whole of the GP circuit as well. So where we left off at the end of last round, now that all the stewards results and all that kind of stuff is out, Davey is still the championship leader, holding on to the lead. Very slight lead at the moment, ahead of Morrow. Where is Morrow? Is he actually in the lobby? I'm sure he is. Somewhere. There he is. In the AMG. So these two, more consistent than the rest of the field, even if they haven't got the wins and top results to back it up. Morrow's in second in the AMG, and then in third place is Tidswell, having a very good season so far. He's never been this high up in the standings previously. Then we've got Steve Strait P4, the winner of race 1, still hanging in there. And then in 5th place we've also got a race winner, Freivogel, in the Ferrari. Ooh, someone's off track there. Oh dear, that is not how you take the corner. It is a short outlap though. They only go around the Grand Prix track and then they get started on their hot laps. There's another driver who looks like they've brought out the yellow flags. Let me see if I can find them. I think he's just reset to pit Sith as... Oh no, there he is. He's rejoining pretty slowly. And he is going to get his lap going. There's another one who's just gone red somewhere. I can't actually see. I think it might be Sith again. And, sorry, trying to get my bearings here. So let's join Steve Strait. He seems to be one of the lead drivers on a lap. Oh, and he's backed off just before he starts his first flying lap. So these guys have to be a little bit careful. Because they'll be going pretty slow around these last few corners before they start a lap, but they will be catching up to people who are just coming out of the pits for the first time because of the weird way that qualifying works around here. So some of these guys are just starting hot laps now, and some of them will still be on out laps. Everyone's still at the moment in the infield section of Nordschleife. I think car number 68, Milliston, is going to be the first one to hit the Nordschleife part of the track. So this guy is new. I don't think he's raced before. Having a look through the standings, I don't see his name. But he was the quickest in practice just before we got going. So expecting another quick lap for him. He's just ahead of Capale, who's no stranger to the Nordschleife. Let's see what he could do in the Porsche. Let's get the stream up and see. Make sure it's all working properly. It is. Looks like Morrow is on the Nordschleife section as well. So unfortunately, we're not going to know where everyone filters out for another 5 or so minutes. Because we can't see sector times, unfortunately. So let's just cycle through and see how these guys are taking some of these corners. We're just going through... Oh, is he? He's actually bailed out of this lap. And he's probably resetting to pits there. Yeah, he does. So Capale is now the lead driver trying to set a lap. Dan Paris is in this little battle as well. Not even a battle, just the same section of the track. We've got Andy Winters a little bit further back. He's at the head of another car that's not too far behind, so they might get in each other's way during the lap at some point. Got Regnix with plenty of clear air, so this is exactly what you want when you're on a lap. If you look at the minimap, he's got a big gap behind him and a big gap in front as he slides round the corner, manages to keep it on the tarmac and get going again. He's in the Aston Martin Vantage tonight. Looks like some more people are resetting to pits. This is going to be a long race, and I think I'm going to make the prediction that a few of these guys are going to be in the pits at the like throughout the entire race. Essentially, I'm going to guess like 3 or 4 drivers in the pits at any one time during the race after we get going, and people need to reset to pits and fix damage. Capel's looking pretty solid. Let's see what everyone else is up to. Let's have a little catch up with Morrow. He's still got clear air in front of him as well, so he can just concentrate on setting the laps. They are going through the really technical western section of the Nordschleife. Lots of banked corners, uphill corners. There's the odd carousel in there. Corners where you have to almost come to a complete stop as well. Zico's back again. Zico in the BMW has shown really good pace. We know how quick he is. He's still waiting to get his first win in ACC, but I think he's capable of it. Another man waiting for his first win is Slim, Eric Slim. He's in the McLaren. I saw some complaints in the chat before the race about the McLaren being a little bit happy to get airborne going over the bumps of the Nordschleife, so this might be a tough race if you're a McLaren driver. Got Omoda, who's still in the Grand Prix section. He's just about to start his flying lap. So, yeah, these guys may get 1 lap, they may get 2 laps in. Definitely don't want to be cutting it any finer than coming out of the pits right now. Or starting your lap right now even, to make sure that you get the 2 laps in. Let's see what's going on up front. Capella is still the lead driver, so he's not made any mistakes yet. You just want to be... Oh, this is the problem. You don't have much margin for error, but you only get 1 odd chance, and you don't want to be starting lower than 7th, I would reckon, because then you're just going to get caught in the pack, and then if you get caught in the pack, you might get spat out the back. Andy Cabras just going into the Nordschleife. BX is with this front pack car, so it looks like he's going to be getting 2 laps in. The McLaren is looking pretty nice delivery on that car. I think it's quite hard to get a nice livery on some of these ACC cars because they don't give you many options. But yeah, nice little colour scheme going on. Keeping it on track nicely as well. Let's see what Tidswell's up to. Tidswell's just coming up the hill. Very long period of time where you're on full throttle up into the top gears. And then a really tight left-hander coming up before a heavy braking point. So there's the left-hander. And then just here, manages to take it nicely, hugs the inside pretty well. You can see he's being a bit careful as well. He's not attacking the curbs as much as you'd see on some other laps. I think Zico's lap is potentially invalidated because he's showing as blue on the screen, as is Davey. So if that is the case, when they come around the start-finish line, they will be starting their first flying lap actually, which would be a bit of a disaster for them. Capella looks like he's still going strong. He's just coming onto the back straight now. So this is where the tuning of the car will be important. If you went for lower downforce, you'll be able to hit the higher speeds. Probably the longest straight these guys will be racing on in ACC. Favorite corner. I like the carousels because you can get spat right out and you can carry a lot of speed if you're clever. So we'll stick with Capel because he's approaching the end of his lap, and then we'll join a few of the other drivers who are nice and spaced out. Looks like someone's just reset to pits. 2 people, number 112 and I think that was 56. So that's Tidswell and Stratton. Their qualifying's over. They'll be starting right at the back. They've actually, no they won't. They'll be able to do 1 more lap. But anyway, Capel coming through the final corners now. He's rejoining the GP track to start his second and final lap. What kind of lap time are we looking for here? For a bank lap, it is an 8-minute 19.6 to get us started. Let's see what Morrow can do. He is the next one. He is 1.3 seconds quicker. Then we've got car number 23. Where is he? I think I've missed it. Oh, that's Eroticos. He is a long way down, so he's got a lot of ground to improve. Let's join Freddy Cabras trying to bounce back after a few incidents at the starts of races have put him towards the back. What can he do in qualifying here? He's in fourth, just behind Eroticos. So next one is going to be Scanlon. We haven't seen any of Scanlon's lap. It looks like he's just ahead of a Ferrari as well, coming through the final corners. So there's a big field spread, but only 4 drivers have actually set a lap so far, with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Scanlon goes quickest by a second, 11 seconds quicker than De Rosa. So De Rosa started the lap quicker. Then we've got number 21, that's Peter, coming across back into the infield section, and then just behind him is Oliver. So these are the next two to cross the line. And Peter is 6th. Oliver is going to be in 8th place, in last place, 15 seconds off at the moment. Number 486 is going to be the next one. I feel like a bingo caller here. This is Paul in the Nissan as well, so I have no idea how the Nissan is because hardly anyone ever drives it, to be honest. But surely if he's had a tidy lap, this will be quite high. He's 8th place, 13 seconds off at the moment. Now we've got the next one, Freivogel, still coming down the very long back straight. This is a guy who's used to qualifying right at the front. Scanlon set the best time in 8 minutes 17.2. So what can these guys do to respond? And this is going to be the last person to actually cross the finish line for quite a while. And Freivogel goes 4th place, 3 seconds off of Scanlon. It's not many people into the 1 minute 20s and below. It looks like Milliston's on the next person to start a lap, well, finish his lap, but I don't think he's going to set a lap at all because he's showing us blue here, which indicates he's probably invalidated his lap already. So the next person will be Sylph. Sylph is another new driver. So Milliston and Sylph are the newbies today. We saw him at the start having to reset to pits once or twice, so he was getting his out laps wrong, but yeah, that's the benefit of having the reset to pit function, especially on a track like this. So let's see how he tackles it. He's in the McLaren. The highest McLaren is a Roticos, but the highest McLaren is 6 seconds off the pace. We used to seeing the McLaren be quite a good car around a lot of the tracks, but this is a very different track. Very high speed, very unforgiving, very bumpy, and the curbs are quite brutal as well. So maybe it just doesn't gel with the smoothness that the McLaren requires. As you can see, it went a little bit airborne there, and again, very high speed section of the track. Does require a lot of downforce around here, so if you've got a low downforce setup as well, that could make you struggle. It's very easy to go wide into the gravel here, but he keeps it nice and on the track. Just a little bit of the curb taken. Now we're into the carousel and a little bit of a wobbly exit, but nothing too bad. Now we've got one little kink of a right-hander that you need to really nail and avoid going into the grass if you go too early on the throttle, which looks like he's avoided, and he's a little bit tiny bit on the grass, but that is nothing to worry about. So now we're on to a section of the track which lasts 20 to 30 seconds, I think, just completely on full throttle. That's why the exit of that corner is so important. You want to carry as much speed as possible because you benefit from it until you reach basically as fast as your car's going to take you. When you're going up the hill as well, that requires certain type of car that has a really strong engine that can drag you up the hill and still maintain the speed that you've built up. Some of them can't quite do that, and that's where some time could potentially be lost. Last couple of corners now, big braking zone into the pit straight. Now, after all that, it did look quite tidy, so I'd be surprised if we were looking outside the top 8 here, or top 7 anyway. Let's see what he can do. This is going to be his only lap, and he's the first one to reach the checkered flag. And it is P1, a huge 5 seconds quicker than what Scanlan's done. So he's joined, and he's absolutely schooled everyone in his very first qualifying session. Only needed 1 lap to do it. Car number 8 is going to be the next one to finish a lap. That is Capale a long, long way back. We're going to have a lot of people not even setting lap times. So just getting a single lap time in that's valid is actually your ticket to, well, potentially, well, you've only 11 people have set laps, and Capale's one of those, and he's the next one to set a fastest lap. Everyone else, you can see the blue dots, they've all invalidated, but they're carrying on the laps anyway, probably just to see where they could have been. There is going to be a lot of angry people. It looks like Davy's not going to be setting a lap, maybe. Andy Winters. Omoda's just crossed the line. He's 29 seconds down. Let's see if Andy Cabras actually does set a lap here. I'm pretty sure the blue means that it's invalidated. 29 seconds. That is going off multiple times, essentially. Yeah, he's not really pushing, you can tell. He's not going too quick. We might as well wait and see, because Capale's still got half a lap. He does cross the line. He is 26 seconds down as well. That's wild. What about Steenstra? Yeah, I'm looking at the mini-map. Steenstra goes 5th, so still 7 seconds off the pace. There is a huge gap at the front between P1 and P2 that a lot of drivers could potentially slot into. What could BMW? Andy Winters definitely wasn't in the BMW last week, so he's changed his car for the week. What's it going to be? It's P7, 11 seconds off. So you could be 11 seconds down and still comfortably in the top 10. Regnix will be the next one. Where's Capale? Capale's actually reset to pit, so he wasn't going to beat his previous time and gave up. You see a little corn in the way. Regnix goes 7th, 9 seconds off. Then we've got our defending champion Morrow, not too far behind. Another driver whose number I can't quite see, just ahead of him. It ends in a 7. It's not Freivogel. It is BX Royal, so let's see what BX and Morrow can do. They're pretty close together on track as they come to finish their hot laps. Neither of them have... well, actually, BX doesn't have a time. Morrow is in 3rd place at the moment, but he's still 6 seconds off. He's looking for a big improvement here. What can BX do? Is it going to be a top 10? It's up to P4, and Morrow improves, and he improves to 2nd place. So, Freddy Cabras has dropped down to 11th with all that. You can see Eroticos isn't setting another lap. Neither is De Rosa, neither is Pole. So they've given up on their laps. It looks like Stratton and Paris are already in the pits, and Calderman. They haven't set a lap at all in qualifying. So Freddie to the line. He needs to find 0.006 to actually improve a single place, but he's found way more than that. Up to 5th place for Freddy Cabras. Next one is Zico. Another one we're used to seeing in the top 10. What's this going to be? It's up to P3. 4.5 seconds off still, but that is a very, very solid lap around the Nordschleife. Petr, big braking into the final corner. Looked a little bit slow through there and a bit wobbly trying to get back on the throttle as well. He's got a lot of time to find though. 13 seconds down. He's still pushing, so he thinks he can go quicker. And he does. It's up to P7. So really solid lap there at the very end. Now what can Tidswell do? Tidswell P3 in the championship hasn't got a lap set here. He needs a top 10 at the very least. And he doesn't actually set a valid lap. So, he'll be starting right at the back. Number 112, Schmidt, what can he do? Schmidt is up into, where did he go? All the way up into second. Out of absolutely nowhere, up into second. So the top two are fairly new drivers to ALR, Stilth and Schmidt. Number 227's up next, that's Freivogel. Dropped outside the top 10 as well now. Another former pole sitter, so he could find some time for that's for sure. And he's up into 6th now as well. So a solid lap there, puts BX down to 7th. Capel is still in 10th. Davey will be the next person. Our championship leader. He's won 2 championships. Then hasn't won the last 2 because Morrow has joined and been so strong. He needs a good lap here. Essentially, he needs to be ahead of Morrow. Morrow is currently in P3 right now. These are the top 2 in the championship. What can he do? Is he going to be troubling the top 10? He's up into 7th. It's not bad. I think he'll have been expecting a little bit more. Now, Scanlon's going to set his lap again. He gets at 1 position better. He's ahead of Zico. He's up into 4th place. Then we've got quite a big gap down to the last 2 drivers. One of them is Milliston, who was the quickest in practice. Still hasn't set a lap. Just ahead of him is Weston. So 2 McLarens, not able to set a lap. They did time their start of the final lap really well. They've got the whole track to themselves as they go onto the back straight now. So while they're doing that, let's just do a quick rundown. So we've got Sylph in 8 minute 12, 1.2 ahead of Schmidt. He's ahead of Morrow, Scanlon, Zico, Freivogel, Weatherston, BX Royal, Freddie Cabras, and Peter in 10th. I've got Capel, Steenstra, Regnix, Winters, Popov, DeRosa, Pole, Oliver, Cabras, and O'Morda are the ones who've set laps, and the ones who definitely aren't setting any valid times are Tidswell, Stratton, Paris, and Caldwell. So we just need to wait and see what happens. It looks like Weston's being completely caught by Milliston at the end of this lap here, so as long as his lap's valid, Milliston's definitely going to be ahead of Weston. So let's see what these guys can do right at the very end. And we have to... Let's return to the garage because it doesn't want to show us. Milliston went up into 2nd, 7/10 off of Sylph in the end. So a very, very solid lap time there. And where did Weston end up? Can't see. He's down in 19th, so he was 19 seconds slower on that lap. So he is in the top 20, but like I said, you want to be in the top 7, I reckon, to avoid being in any kind of danger. So the start of the danger zone is Davey BX and Freddie Cabras. Got a really long run down to a hairpin for turn 1, so a lot of collisions could end up happening. At the very top is 2 McLarens in P1 and 2, so yeah, maybe the complaints against the McLaren around here were unfounded. Then we have a lot of different cars. So we got Ferrari there, a Mercedes, an Aston Martin, a BMW, and then another Ford, and a Porsche in the top 10 as well. So fortunately, the warm-up lap is only going to be around the GP section. Oh, actually, no, it's not. I'm lying. Because look at where they are on the minimap. They are halfway down the straight. So they're going to just have one big straight to warm up the tyres and get into position. And then it is up and running. 1 hour and 30 minutes is the length of this race. It's going to be a long one. We've got 27 drivers trying to win the Nordschleife. A lot of them have won various races around this track in different games. Quite a strong grid, it's got to be said. Yeah, the top 4 drivers are not PlayStation drivers. Make of that what you will. Does Xbox give... I can't speak. Does Xbox give you hacks? Try saying that 5 times. So let's do some predictions. I think this guy Milliston is potentially going to win, just based off his practice pace. And then he's got within 8/10 of Sylth. But we saw Sylth make a couple of, well, he did a couple of reset to pits, so maybe a little bit too excited at the start of qualifying. But it didn't really penalise him because he's in pole. Schmidt is a complete unknown for me. Then we have Morrow, Scanlon, both very consistent. They could easily find themselves in the podium positions. Davey, expecting him to come through from 8th. He needs to find a lot of time, really. He needs to finish ahead of Morrow, crucially.
30 seconds.
And then, yeah, it's been a disaster for P3 of the championship, Tidswell. Down in 23rd place. This is where it's just like playing dodge jumps at the start of a race. Yeah, nervous for turn 1 for these guys, that's for sure.
10 seconds.
Let's see if anyone has any resets to the pits, actually. As soon as the session starts. If you don't ready up, you do reset to pits. Or if your device doesn't fully connect, it kicks you back into the pits as well. Looks like no one's reset though. Everyone's up and running. I think we're on a new server for this week, so hoping to avoid the disconnections that have happened in the opening rounds. So yeah, I think podium is going to be Milliston, Morrow and Scanlon. That is my predictions, with Milliston getting the win. Just completely writing off the guy on pole position for no reason, other than I don't know him. Let's see how long it takes before someone does have to reset to pit. I'm going to say at the end of turn 1. And we got Sith really glitching out here by the looks of things. What is going on? Well, Milliston is technically the race leader then. Sylth has just gone all the way to the back of the field. Maybe he's done that on purpose. But anyway, the green light is gone. And we got Milliston just ahead of Schmidt, Morrow, Scanlon, and Zico in the top 5. Everyone's bunching together around about where BX is. It's going to be an interesting braking for the first corner. Is everyone going to make it through? It looks like they have actually. You see, oh, everyone's kind of bunching together there, but again, they do make it all through by the looks of it. Okay, let's go a little bit back further forward. Well, Sylth's already right at the back and had some... Oh god, what has gone on there? The yellow flags are out in full force, and yeah, not sure what went on there. We just caught the end of a big accident involving about 5 or 6 cars, including the pole sitter who went all the way to the back. It looks like number 56 is already reset to the pits. Milliston has the lead of the race. Schmidt is in 3rd place behind Morrow. Morrow's in 2nd. Scanlon is still in there as well, but he's lost a position to Zico. And then Freivogel's just behind Zico as well. Capel's up in there as well, as is Davey. Everyone is doing pretty well. We still haven't got anywhere near the first sector point, because they only have 3 sectors for some reason, despite it being a 8-minute lap. So still 3 joined, and he's fairly low down. Tidswell's back in the pits and DeRosa's back in the pits, so Tidswell definitely dropping from P3 in the standings after this race. It's already going to be a really long run. Omoda's cut off at the back, so he was clearly involved in something. Andy Cabras looks like he was involved as well. Bit of a battered car, but these guys are carrying on. Schmidt all over the back of Morrow trying to get a position, so let's stick with these guys. Everyone's still fairly close, but Milliston is getting a good lead. Scanlon dropping a little bit off the back of Zico as well. So yeah, Schmidt's really trying to find a way through here. But it is quite difficult to overtake at the Nord. Yeah, you're basically waiting for the driver in front to have a bad corner so that you can actually get alongside. Morrow being quite careful through there, and it looked like Schmidt was a little bit more on the edge. Now we're going up the hill. Another very long full throttle section of the track, even though there are some corners. And then a tight left-hander where you have to lift. And he slides through a little bit, and then a big braking zone here. Very easy to go into the gravel. Looks like everyone's making it through. And we're finally going through the first sector. Milliston with a 1.8 second lead after the first couple of minutes of the race. See, Freivogel's putting some pressure on Davey now as well. So Davey up a couple of spots. Oh, someone's gone off, and it was Morrow. Morrow is completely in the wall there. He's going to have a lot of damage on his car, and he's going to have to wait basically the entire field to get past. So this is huge for the championship. He was a pretty comfortable second. I wonder if there was any coming together with him and Schmidt, who was really close behind him for the entirety of the race up until that point. And he's, rejoining all the way down. He's ahead of O'Morda, so he's outside the top 20 now. Schmidt is up into second as a result. Then you have Zico, and you have Scanlon, who's closed up very nicely to the back of Zico. So Zico again finds himself in the top 3 at the start of a race, which he's done a couple of times now. It's looking pretty calm here. There's a bit more action going on a bit further back. Looks like Capel and Freddie Cabras had a lot of racing together last week. A little bit further back than they are right now. Let's see if Freddie goes for a move. It looks like he's pretty close. Maybe if he's feeling lucky with a dive. We've finally got the other 2 drivers out of the pits now. They're just coming around the GP section. Capel looks like he's actually catching Freivogel here. The gap was 1.4. It's definitely not that now. A little bit further forward. That's not further forward. Schmidt's still holding off Zico. Milliston with a pretty huge lead at this point. Oh! That is Scanlon. He's completely spun his car, and just like Morrow, he's going to be dropping very low down. He's facing the wrong way on the track as well, so he's got to turn his car around in a safe manner. Oh, someone else has just spun as well. There's a... Oh dear. What? Oh my god. What's going on, guys? Dan's like, what, I don't know what to do. He's come to a complete stop, and someone else has just got past both of them as well. Oh, what a mess, guys. What a mess. So that's put Coldman up into 13th. Man, I wish we had replays. It's all kicking off up front as well, just behind. Freivogel's really struggling around this part of the track. Capel and Freddie Cabras trying to get moves done on him. Also, Andy Winter's not too far back as well, so he's enjoying that BMW tonight. Now, what can Freivogel do? He's under a lot of pressure here. And it seems like, at least the section that we just went through, he wasn't feeling too confident. Capel's just having to be patient behind him. BX not too far behind either, so BX has avoided all of the drama and is still not too far back. Number 21's reset to pits. That is Peter, so he must have come out worse in all that drama that we saw. Yeah, these guys are giving a good account of themselves. They're all making it through nice and safely. It looks like they might even be catching Davey a little bit. He's starting to come a little bit more in screen when we're going through some of these. Capel a little bit dodgy on the exit of that corner into the carousel. He needs to get a good exit of this final corner to get some of the slipstream of Freivogel. And it looks like he got a great exit there. And Cabras struggling. It looks like Andy Winter's going for a move already. Nice little drag race. Capel's trying to line up a move as well, just ahead. BX lurking in the background. And yeah, Andy's already got the move done. What about Capel? What can Capel do? He is getting closer. This might be the one track where slipstream actually works in ACC. And he's going around the outside. He's going to have to do it into the braking zone. Oh, Freivogel backs out. Capel gets the position. He's into the top 5 for the first time in a while. Freddie Cabras actually got past Andy again. And he's managed to block him off in the final braking point of the track. BX is going to probably catch them on the following lap. But let's see what's going on at the front, just taking turns 1 and 2. Melaston with a comfortable 2.8 second lead over Schmidt at the end of lap 1. Zico pretty close, 1.5 behind. Then there's a big gap down to Davey. Then we got Capel, who's just overtaken Freivogel. Then there's Cabras just ahead of Winters. BX starting to catch up to them with a bit of a battered car, and Rotico's popping himself into the top 10. Looks like Morrow is, wow, I saw a little yellow flag next to his name, and that is why he's completely lost it in the braking for the final corner, and he has huge damage. I think he's going to be coming into the pits now. He's going to be dropping further back, definitely. Well, he dropped outside the top 20, probably got back inside it because of that carnage that we saw. And now he's in the pits, Weston's in the pits, and Petter's still in the pits fixing his damage. Steenstra's been in the grass as well, and he's coming in. What about Paris? Paris is carrying on, so he's going to get a good chunk of positions here just by making it round lap 1 and carrying on. Although, look how damaged his car is as well. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. He's struggling his way around turn 1 and 2 with a bonnet that's about to flip open. What's Capel up to? It looks like he's gapped Freivogel pretty nicely. Freivogel and his teammate Freddie Cabras not too far behind. Andy Winter's still there. BX is definitely catching Andy, I can tell. That gap's not going to be 2.4. Oh, Erotica's losing it! Where have you gone? Come on, camera, show us where he's gone. He's back on track. And into the Nordschleife he goes. I'm doing well at catching the off-track excursions, so potentially they're just happening every 5 seconds. That's impossible to miss. That was in the GP section as well. There's no excuse getting it wrong in the GP section. Coldman up in 12th now. He's got Sylph behind him. Remember Sylph, podium sitter? Dropped to the back before the start and then got in a turn 1 incident. He's recovered all the way up to 12th already at the start of lap 2. He's trying to get past Coldman here. Both of them are in the McLaren. Just about to go into the full throttle uphill section after these next couple of corners. Oh dear! Sylph losing it a little bit, lost a lot of time to Coldman as well in that, just going over the grass. Then we got Andy Cabras, got Oliver. These guys must have all been involved in the incidents. O'Mauder's in 19th, Stratton. Morrow's not the next one. Then we got Paris with his battered car, and then everyone else is still in the pits getting repair work done. And then we still have Tidswell on his first lap, just trying to get past some of these people who've got loads of damage. DeRosa as well. And Peters had to reset to pit, so he's not even started his first lap yet, because it doesn't count. Even if you're 7 minutes into a lap, if you reset to pits, you just wipe that out as well as the repair time. So he's going to be... Oh, well, I'll be amazed if he's any higher than 26th at the end of the race at this point. Battle for P2, Schmidt is still looking fairly comfortable ahead of Zico. Zico keeping him honest though. They're both so much quicker than Davey. Davey's not got the pace here. Capel is still really solidly in P5. He's got Freivogel still behind him, so he's not managed to really drop him since getting the overtake done. But the track position is going to be important as well. Nice little battle going on here. They're all driving very consistently as well, not making any calamitous mistakes. They're all still keeping Davey honest as well, but the top three definitely in a world of their own right now. Schmidt's now 4.5 off the back of Milliston. Silth has re-caught Caldman now, but he's caught him in an awkward part of the track. I mean, most of the track's an awkward part of the track, but it is much easier to get your overtakes done in the GP section. Might have seen a reset to pits there for Oliver, potentially. Yeah, because he was definitely on his second lap. Okay, Coleman coming under a lot of pressure now. But he's defending. Oh, never mind. I was about to say he's defending really well, and he just clatters the wall there. He's going to have loads of damage on his car, and he's lost a lot of momentum. That is going to be the position to Silf lost, and Regnick's not too far behind. Well, yes, he is. So, yeah, Coldman could recover, but he's got a very damaged car now. I don't know how much that's going to be affecting him. And Silth up nearly into the top 10. Let's see how quickly he can catch Eroticos. The gap's almost 9 seconds right now. Freivogel still looks like he's holding up his ART teammate Freddie Cabras. Oh, Capel's lost it! And he's facing the wrong way as well. It was going so well. Riding comfortably in the top 5. He's got some space to actually get back on track. So he's lost maybe 3, maybe 4 positions. What's going to happen here? Yeah, that car, that's Eroticos, actually went off track rather than overtaking Capel, which is an interesting way to race. So now we've got a nice little battle for P5 now between Freivogel and Freddie Cabras. Look at the minimap. Look how spaced out everyone is. This is lap 2. This is lap 2. Oh, this might be a long 90 minutes. Let's hope that we keep getting lots of action, but every time someone spins, it brings them out of contention to be fighting for positions, so... Solid carousel there for Freivogel on the exit. You saw he had a bit better traction than Cabras, who took more speed, but was a little bit wobbly on the exit. Freivogel looking like he's got a bit more grip going through these corners as well. But there's going to be a 3-way fight with Slipstream up the hill. And it looks like he's already going for it, the Porsche. Freddie Cabras looks like he's going to get that position sewn up. I don't think that was any lifting from Freivogel, because lifting would be a very silly thing to do with Andy Winter so close behind. Now let's see what Freddie can do. He's got some clear air now. And he's very close to Freivogel as well. Maybe he's fancying the position. Is he going to send it? He's thinking about it. Oh, he's gone for it. And he kind of tried to back out, and he doesn't get the position, but That's a bit of time for both of them lost, with BX not too far behind as well. See what's going on a bit further back. Pale's just ahead of Eroticos still. Sylth in P11 is 3.3 behind. Remember, he was 9 seconds behind Eroticos before. Coldman in 12th now. Andy Cabras just starting his third lap in 13th. Reg has been in the wars. Yeah, look at that. He missed it. What happened? That looked very dramatic. So Pole's up into 14th. Mo Morder's 15th now. Paris is a long way behind, but he's going to overtake Reg Nix here. At least Reg can make his mandatory pit stop. You got Oliver and Tidswell's in the pits again. Peter's in the pits still. He hasn't even set a valid lap yet. Scanlan's made his mandatory pit stop, but he's definitely going to have to stop again before the end of the race. Looks also like we're going to get some rain in 30 minutes, which is going to be nice and chaotic. Rain in 30 minutes. Freddie Cabras, as soon as he gets past Freivogel, again, he's not really getting away from him. It's like the Hamilton-Leclerc issue from the weekend. Your teammates, one of you is lapping identically to the other. You do the swap, and nothing changes. So yeah, Capel's dropped maybe 12 seconds so far with that error. His car doesn't actually look that damaged, so maybe he got away with it. Sylth is right on the back of Eroticos now though. So let's see what happens here. I think maybe he was trying to do a last to first challenge after getting pole position. Yeah, he's closing up very nicely to Eroticos now. A dismal place in the world. Not having fun then, I take it. I mean, how much longer do you have to wait at the pits? It's all settling down. I thought Sylth would be a little bit quicker onto the back of Eroticos here, but he's struggling to get within a couple of car lengths, even on the straights. Capel's not really driving away from them as well, so Capel and Eroticos seem to be fairly similarly paced at this stage. Sylth potentially just dropping back a little bit, biding his time. Oh, Eroticos really went over the curbs there. And now he's being caught. And again over the... Oh, there we go, yeah. You saw him go over the curb. And that is going to be another spin. Oh, he keeps it pointing the right way at least. That's like the first driver that we've seen actually keep it pointing the right way. But yeah, that's a position lost to Sylth, who is now going to try and chase down Capel. So he's in the top 10 again. So we're going up the hill again. This is, well, one of the many hills. I just keep saying every time there's a straight that we're going up the hill. Technically, it's factual. Let's see what's going on a little bit further forward. BX is caught up to Andy Winters now. So that looks like the closest battle that we've got. Really tricky to follow a car at this section. There's a really fast left-hander followed by a really fast right-hander. And your braking points get a little bit compromised Looks like someone kicked up some smoke. Oh, Andy completely curbing it. Keeps the position still. Yeah, BX definitely looks the racier of the two of them. Andy has struggled to keep up with the RT boys ahead. And off the carousel beautifully. Let's see what's going on with Capel and Sylph. Sylph still stuck behind. So it's looking fairly comfortable at the moment there. BX definitely putting a little bit more pressure on Andy. Andy looking a little bit wide out the corner as well. Now these are some corners that you really want to curb. It's like Freivogel and Cabras having a battle as well ahead. So Freivogel back ahead of Cabras as well, which we missed. And yeah, going a little bit wide. This is going to open the door potentially for Cabras. Cabras tucks in behind. BX still struggling to find an opening to get an overtake done himself though. Up at the front, it looks like Milliston's made a big mistake because he's been completely caught by Schmidt here. He had quite a substantial lead. Schmidt's completely left Zico. Zico's kind of all on his own in P3. Save for Davey in P4. Then we've got this beautiful battle for P5 between Freivogel and Cabras, which keeps changing hands. And then Andy, who's struggling to keep up now. We might see a bit of an overtake for the lead happening fairly soon. These guys just going on to the back straight. We might even be in slipstream range here. He could be a little bit too far behind. We'll see who's quicker, the McLaren engine or the Porsche, not the Ferrari engine, sorry. No, he's too far behind to make a challenge. That is a bit of a closer gap, but this is the one that I'm interested in because look how close BX is. Andy's already going over to the right. BX breaking the slipstream now. He thinks he's got enough overspeed to get the position. And it looks like he has got it done. Then a bit further forward, Freddy Cabras going for it again on Freivogel. These guys are still side by side. It looks like Freddy's got the position. BX having to defend again because Andy tucked into his slipstream and then tried to get alongside. Let's see if this ends in tears. Of course it does. Of course it does. Andy just punts BX off track there. I swear to God I've seen Andy do that at that exact corner in the past as well. So there's BX going into the pits because his car is very badly battered and bruised. Let's see what's going on at the front. So the gap crossing the start-finish line between Milliston and Schmidt was 1.1 seconds. And it still looks that close. There's one, there's the other. Sporting similar liveries as well. Well, it's still the colour scheme. Maybe not that similar. I'm trying to figure out if they were maybe friends who've joined the league together. Fast friends, if that's the case. Still got over an hour left. These guys who come into the pits, are they planning to do a whole hour on one set of tyres? Although I do think a lot of people are going to have to pit multiple times here. Freivogel just having to tuck in comfortably behind Cabras now. Cabras might actually have the biggest gap that either of them have had on each other for a while now, so maybe he's starting to see a little bit of daylight. Silt is going to be up in 8th after BX is still sat in the pits there. He's just coming out now. Looks like all the damage has been repaired. Coldman in the pits as well. Quite a few people. Oliver Tidwell and Peter. I don't think we're going to be seeing again. They're just parking it up. Yeah, so there's not. I'm just trying to see where the gaps are. Where's BX? BX is completely on his own. At least he's got plenty of free air to try and recover. I'm trying to figure out where he is now. I think he's down in 15th or 14th. Looking at that, Morrow is the highest driver who's made a pit stop apart from BX. He is going to be ahead of Coldman, who's only just coming out the pits now. So actually, he's going to be pretty close to Morrow, who's just approaching turn 1. Stop go penalty for car 95. That is Coldman speeding in the pit lane. After spending all that time in the pits, he's going to have to spend another 30 seconds at a full stop there. Looks like Milliston's about to put a lap on a car, and Schmidt is going to be following him through. Let's see if Schmidt can get through pretty comfortably here against the Porsche. Ooh, it was a little bit tight, but they do make it through. That car getting out the way is a good question. Might have been Stratton, potentially. The benefit for BX, at least, was that the incident happened right before the pits, so at least he had a quick lap before he came in. Trying to find some benefits to being wiped out in a corner. Scanlon down in 18th. This is yeah, the whole order's being completely flipped on its head. We got Milliston in P1, just ahead of Schmidt in P2. These two are still keeping each other very honest here, not making any mistakes really. Apart from something did happen to Milliston to lose the gap that he had, but he's started to re-establish it now. Zico just on his own in P3, looking incredibly comfortable. It's got to be said. And Davey the same in P4. He's going to have a lonely race, but it looks like he's going to be extending his lead in the championship quite significantly, and Zico might end up being promoted into P2, I reckon. Freddie Cabras has had one good race and two very bad races in terms of point scoring. So this is looking promising, and Freivogel looks like he's dropped off a lot. And he's got Andy Winters close behind him now. He's got a lot of damage in his car as well, so he's definitely been off track and battered his car pretty badly. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes in at the end of this lap to fix that damage. Let's see what Capel's up to. He's back up to P9. He has gapped. Oh, someone's off somewhere. Who's number 233 off the track? That's Stratton. You can't actually see him. I think he's off track here somewhere. Okay. Thanks, game. Real interesting. So yeah, Freivogel really struggling now with the damage on his car to keep any sort of pace. He's already dropped 6.5 behind Cabras with the incident and with the damage just generally slowing him down. Got a lot of defending that he's going to have to do here. Although he's looking fairly comfortable through this section. He's feeling... Oh, never mind. Just as I say that, he's completely off track. And now they're side by side. Andy backs out and Andy takes P6. What's happening at the front? Is this an overtake for the lead? It is. What is going on here? So, Milliston right ahead of Schmidt. We've just joined them on the back straight. Schmidt has the slipstream, and he's trying to take the lead of the race here. And he's being careful into the braking zone. He's decided to stay behind to have a go down the start-finish straight and get a good exit from this corner. He seems to be a lot more comfortable here. Are either of them going to duck into the pits, actually? No, they both carry on. Now, is he going to go for a late lunge into turn 1? The door's been left open and it's been closed again just before the braking zone. So he can't do anything there. Maybe he's going to try and get a good exit from turn 1 and 2 and to have a run on Milliston. He does get a bit of a run. Is he going to be able to get alongside? It doesn't look likely. Milliston's still covering off pretty well. And taking a wide angle into the corner, Milliston seems to get it a little bit better. So this one, I think, is going to rumble on for a little bit. Schmidt actually has all the pace at this point in the race. Definitely seems to be the fastest man on track. Milliston has the fastest lap of the race, but could potentially all be about to change. If you look at the weather, it looks like in 10 minutes the rain is coming now. And who is going to come into the pits at the right time, and who's going to even be able to get around the track to the pits depending on when the rain starts coming? It's going to get really hairy for some of these guys. So take a little snapshot of who the top 10 are now. We can compare them at the end of the race. Oh, and he's lost it! Oh, and he's managed to gain it again, but he's holding on to the lead for dear life. Nearly spanned the car around completely there. And managed to regain control of his car, Milliston, to keep the lead for now. It is starting to look a little bit hairy for him. He's under a lot of pressure here, and it potentially is starting to show. Schmidt giving him a little bit of space around these last couple of corners. You can tell the track is starting to get a little bit darker here. The clouds are over the track. It did start sunny, so the track's going to start cooling down. The temperature's gone below 20 degrees. It's 18 degrees on the track and 14 degrees in the air. So we're just waiting, essentially, for the rain clouds to arrive. Oh, a really big slide there round that left-hander for Milliston. Potentially dropped a 10th or two to Schmidt. Let's have a quick look through how everyone's doing. Looks like everyone's settled down a little bit now. Andy Cabras almost back into the top 10. Pole with a very damaged car continuing on. He's going to come under pressure from Omoda fairly soon. Who's... Oh, never mind. Never mind. And he's gone completely off the screen there. There he is. He's gone rallying. WRC is the wrong game. So Milliston's still with the lead anyway. And still only half a second ahead of Schmidt. 2:43, who's that? That is Paris. Paris looked like he brought out the yellow flags momentarily and he's got going again. But yeah, let's stick with this fight for the lead unless I see any yellow balls appear on the minimap. Because that means someone isn't going as quickly as they should be. Yeah, the pressure's enormous here, but Schmidt's doing good here. Schmidt's doing good. And Milliston is defending pretty well. He's had a couple of hairy moments, but nothing compared to what we've seen so far in this race. BX trying to recover, down in 14th. Still way ahead of Morrow, and yeah, Morrow might drop 1 or 2 positions in the championship. Remember, this is double points as well, so the finishing position here is super important. Every single position's worth double what it was last week. So a win here will catapult either of these guys potentially into, well, definitely into the top 10 in the standings, even though they haven't scored in the other rounds. And potentially sets them up for maybe being a dark horse in the championship if they carry on for the rest of the season. Yeah, I don't think he's in much of a rush now. Potentially with the rain coming, you don't really want to be getting caught into a fight that could backfire. Let's have a quick look through. Freivogel is behind Winters still with the damage that on Freivogel's car. He is carrying on, and Winters hasn't actually got away from him. So again, with Freivogel, we're seeing he's just as well. He can stick with the car, or he could struggle to get away from the car, whoever he's battling. Then we have Sylph in 8th. He's only 4.6 behind Freivogel now. I reckon he's going to catch these two before too long. At the front, he's still just cruising behind. We've got Coldman in 16th now with his stop-go that he still has to serve. He's going to do it on the next lap. So the weather's just changed. The weather's gone from rain for the next 10 and 30 minutes to just rain in 10 minutes still. We've been waiting, I think, for longer than 20 minutes for this rain to come. So it's changing all the time, and it might get to a point where we're not actually gonna get rain. I don't know, or maybe it's just gonna be a short shower and you don't actually need to pit. But yeah, this is the closest Schmidt's been to Milliston now. It looks like he's trying to position his car to kind of spook Milliston into a mistake here. Milliston's still keeping it pretty planted on the road. And onto the back straight, he definitely has slipstream, but is it going to be enough? It should be. It really, really should be enough to have a go here. Ideally, Schmidt gets past, and then he has a lap, or even half a lap, to try and build a gap on Milliston before the rain comes down. And then it's just rolling the dice, isn't it? Stop go for De Rosa now coming out of the pits. So again, they're taking the final section nice and neatly. Still no attempt at an overtake here. Are either of them coming into the pits this time? Both of them are. So is this in preparation for the rain coming? They don't want to risk another lap. Zico, meanwhile, is carrying on. He's going to take the lead of the race for the first time. Davey, with loads of damage, has actually lost a position to Freddie Cabras here. He had a big lead over Freddie. So Davey's been in the wars, and he's going to have to come into the pits and fix his damage. That's a huge blow to him on this double points race. Let's see what happens with these two. Freddie might want to carry on. Davey, I think, definitely will want to come in. Yeah, Freddie is carrying on. Davey is definitely in. What about Andy and Freivogel? These two still pretty close together. Andy's in. Freivogel's in. And there is the rain. So let's join with some of these guys. Sylph has damage on his car, so he's been in the wars somewhere. He's coming in as well. Capel, look at that. This looks pretty heavy rain as well here. I'm pretty sure... Oh, Freddie Cabras carried on. Capel is carrying on. So he feels comfortable with the level of rain. Schmidt and Milliston have actually come out of the pits now. So they are still really high up. Looks like Eroticos is coming in, then there's a big gap. So let's join and ride on board with Zico as the rain comes down and see how he manages his gap ahead of Freddy Cabras. The gap was about 30 seconds. But Milliston is out and he is ahead of Schmidt still. A little bit more ahead than he was going into the pits, even though you can see it's quite difficult to tell. Zico just entering the Nordschleife now. Let's see how he can take these tricky corners. If he can keep it on the road. The rain probably came down a little bit earlier than he would have preferred. But as I mean, you've seen before, it's been raining like this and some people just stay out on the same set of tyres the whole time and it seems to work out pretty nicely for them. And this looks pretty solid, I've got to say, for Zico. Let's see how Freddy Cabras is doing. He's just going into the Nordschleife now. And yeah, struggling a little bit there, you could see. Now this will be a tricky corner in the wet. This whole section's pretty tricky in the dry, let alone in the wet. But yeah, he's doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. What about Zico? Zico's still holding on. And he's out after his stop. Then we got Capel. Let's see how Capel's doing. Struggling a little bit. It's been raining pretty solidly for quite a while, and it looks like it's going to get even worse. The track is currently greasy, which isn't that bad if you haven't pit. If you're someone like Zico, the track being greasy is tolerable. It's if the track, if you see on the top where it says greasy, if that changes in the next minute or so, I think it's going to be a tough end to the race. As you could hear, it is the halfway point of the race now. 45 minutes left to go, and it has now changed to damp, the track. So this will be favouring the drivers who have opted for a more wet setup on the car when they've come into the pits, made the adjustments. But it is going to dry up again, that's the thing. Andy just entering the Nordschleife now, and Freivogel some way back, still with the damaged car, so I don't think he fixed the damage in the pits. Unless he's given himself damage already. And how's Capel going to do in this braking zone? Really tricky in the dry, another corner, but he's taken it pretty well. So Zico's actually lapping pretty well here. He's gained 3 seconds on Freddy Cabras in the first sector. This could potentially be a race-winning drive here. We have to wait and see what he decides to do in the pits as well. Because if you opt for a wet setup and you pit at the end of this lap, then it completely dries up again. You're just going to have to pit again. But you could be clever and just try and ride it out as much as you can. Fuel must be running low though as well. Stop-go penalty for... that is Morrow. Oh, damn. So he's come in for his... another pit stop to try and adjust for the wet and giving himself a stop-go penalty in the process. Coldman's probably gonna... oh wow, look at the damage on that car. He's not had a good lap. Number 82 is struggling as well somewhere, but he's come into the pits. I think the yellow flags are out for him, as you can see on the pit straight. Milliston and Schmidt still very close together on track again. I think Schmidt's caught back up to him. So let's stick with these guys. Schmidt's actually got ahead. And another car with a stop-go penalty. That's Regnix. So none of them able to slow the car down in time to hit the pit limiter. Milliston really struggling in the wet compared to Schmidt. Schmidt's going to drive off into the distance by the looks of things. So it might be a fight between Schmidt and Zico at this stage. How's Zico doing? Through the carousel. You can tell he's being careful. Everyone's tripping over themselves. Morrow's having the race from hell tonight, that's for sure. Started to make some progress. Came in for what was his second pit stop of the day. Still within the first hour, and he gets himself a stop go, so there's going to be another pit stop and another 30 seconds wasted. Meanwhile, Zico's not had to make a single stop yet, and he's cruising in P1 in these wet conditions. Freddie's doing pretty good here as well, but I think he might... Oh. Yeah. Yeah, Milliston has dropped behind Schmidt. It's just the timings still haven't updated. How's Capel doing? Capel's all on his own. Seems to be doing pretty decently here. Should be quite pleased with how his recovery has been going. Of course, everyone else has made a pit stop, but... Oh, and he's got a little bit wide there, a little bit deep, but no dramas really. Zico's gained another 3 seconds on Cabras in that second sector. And oh, it looks like he's really struggling now. You can see loads of puddles on the tracks as well. These are incredibly treacherous conditions. I think we've got quite a few drivers who've completely given up already. I think Weston's the latest one to join that group. I'd still carry on personally. Double points. Even if you just get a couple more positions because other people have nightmares. So through the carousel, it looks pretty solid again. Oh, yeah, he's really sliding his car though. Now he needs to avoid sliding too far off. He took the corner super carefully again. Let's see how Cabras is doing, as Capel is now on the home straight. I'm imagining a pit stop at the end of this lap, surely. It still says it's going to be raining in 10 minutes time. So if we believe that, that's at least the next lap. If you could stretch it out another lap, if you felt confident enough to do so, it could be good. I don't know, it's difficult to predict what the best strategy would be at this point. The track is fully wet now. That's why you're seeing the cars slide a little bit more. Let's see how Zico brakes for this last corner. He gets it stopped nice and on time, despite the wet. And in he comes finally to make his pit stop. Now, he wasn't too far off Schmidt and Milliston. They have swapped positions and they've come into the pits. It's going to be a question of who comes out first, Schmidt or Zico from the pits. Let's see if Cabras follows him in, or if Cabras is actually going to take the lead of the race. "38 minutes to go. I'd be surprised if the track actually went fully dry again. Cabras struggling into the final corner, still gets it turned in, and into the pits he goes. Zico's still at a full stop. Here comes Schmidt into the final corner. Surely he's going to take the lead of the race. He's completely dropped Milliston as well. Yeah, Zico's still at a full stop. Schmidt goes through. Milliston is a long way behind Schmidt now, but he is going to go through as well. Zico is actually, it might be close between Zico and Milliston. Zico trying to get back on the throttle coming out of the pits. Milliston goes into the turn one and gets the position, and there's Zico just exiting the pits now. So Zico down in third, Milliston fourth. What's Capel doing coming around the final corner? Is he going to do something mad and continue carrying on? No, you can tell he's going to the right, he's going to the pits. There's a big gap back down to Davey though. 35 seconds between Capel and Davey. So Capel might only lose one position, or maybe two, with this later pit stop. Schmidt looking super comfortable now. Let's go back down the grid order and see what's going on. Silth 27 seconds behind Eroticos with the damage that he had. So he's dropped back down to 10th again. BX is 12th now, sorry. After his problems. Omoda 13th. We've seen him with a bit of a damaged car as well. We have Morin 14th with a stop-go penalty, a long, long way back from 13th anyway, over a minute. Scanlon having a nightmare, Regnick's having a nightmare with a stop-go. Dan, all on his own on the west side of the track, while everyone else is on the other side. Yeah. So it says Freddy's out in in third. He's actually not. Stop-go penalty for car number 8. That's Capel. Oh dear. Oh dear. He's just coming out of the pits now, just ahead of Erotikos, who he was battling before as well. This would have been perfect for him in his race, but down in 8th place with a stop-go penalty. That's going to drop him outside the top 10 for the sure by the end of the race. Yeah, these guys just not slowing down early enough for the pit lane. They're not taking into account that it's even wetter on the pit lane entry because you don't have the line from all the cars driving through it. Zico looks like he's about to lap someone. Oh, actually, no, it's Milliston. Milliston's not too far ahead of Zico. You can see Zico's maybe 2 or 3 seconds behind Milliston now. We need some more sector time updates, please. This is torture. Looks like Tapos' wheel disconnected. Slim's quit for the day as well. Oh, look at the slide through there. So yeah, Milliston not enjoying these wet conditions as much as he was enjoying the dry, that's for sure. Schmidt is completely off in the distance. He is so far ahead. He's actually put a lap on somebody. Can't tell who it is. So yeah, Zico's gone through. Oh! And just as I said that, Milliston is in the wall. He's damaged his car again. Zico's up in a second. And Milliston's quite comfortable in third right now. This is, so... yeah, he was leading the race comfortably at one point, and now he's dropped to third. So the top 5 currently look like Schmidt, Zico, Milliston. Then we have Freddie Cabras in 4th place. He might have a chance at third here with the fresher tyres and also with the damage Milliston may have got on his car. Davy's not too far behind. We've seen that he's not really had the greatest of pace. Freivogel just ahead of Andy Winters. Capel is ahead, is behind both of them actually. So Capel down to 8th. And then we've got Erotikos actually dropped way off the back of Capel, so he's been in the walls. Andy's in the wall again. Woohoo! He's already dropped behind Silth, so he's in 10th right now. He's got maybe a job on his hands to try and keep this car on the track, because it's looking a little bit hairy around every one of these corners. Look how slow he's going as well. Whoa, there was a corner and it wasn't executed. And he's still driving on the grass. Oh my god. Is his car just not turning? What's going on? He needs to keep going. You run for a good result. Don't give up now. Oh my god. What? Oh man. That is one way around the corner. I sense a reset to pits coming any second. He's still going, bless him. He's still somehow ahead of BX Royal. What's been going on with BX? Let's join with BX because he's going to be catching up to Erotikos fairly soon. What's going on? Is this the Bulgarian racing line? Hey, he's back on the road. Man. Well, at least BX is back in the top 10. Alright, I feel bad for watching this, but this is the most entertained I've been all season, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, here comes Andy Cabras. Let's see what he can do. What's the Rotcos gonna do? Is he gonna see him coming? Looks like Milliston's had to reset to pits, so he's been in even more trouble. And he's actually reset now, so that's going to drop him back a full lap with the reset. And that's exactly why Eroticos doesn't want to reset to pits, because he's going to have to restart this lap all over again if he does that. So Milliston's potentially outside the top 10. And Eroticos is in another wall. How many times has he hit a barrier on this lap? I'm going to say at least 30. Car number 23, really struggling here. It says he's in 10th, he's definitely not. Omoda is through on him as well. So he's down to 30. Moro is probably going to catch up to him before the end of the lap, even though Moro was 67 seconds behind. Milliston, meanwhile, still stuck in the pits here. So this reset to pits, like I said, definitely going to drop him outside the top 10 when he gets going again. He's probably going to be a lap down, because just coming on to the home straight now is the man he's been battling with all race, coming onto the back straight, sorry. A good 33 seconds ahead of Zico, who himself is 28 ahead. Then we have Davey, Davey's actually got past Freddie as well, so Davey's up into the top 3 again, out of absolutely nowhere. So Freddie potentially in a bit of trouble. Davey wasn't too far behind him, but now he's got a good little gap ahead of Freddie on this in this sector. Freivogel's back in the top 5 with his damaged car, but Andy's not too far behind. Capel wasn't too far behind, and look at what's going on here. He's just overtaken Andy, but he is going to have to serve a stop go. Erotica. What's going on? I'm assuming that he just can't get his wheels turned. Who's car number 91? I think that's Scanlon. He's just coming back onto the track there. You could see he span his way into the wall as well. Trying to get back up to speed. He's actually going to catch Eroticos fairly soon, I reckon. Where is Eroticos? He's got a white flag. Alright, Dido. Yep, there is another driver overtaking him. That is Moro getting past him. He had a 67. Oh, and again. Eventually, this car's just going to stop. And I think that might be what's happening right now. I mean, he can't be going more than, what, like 30 right now? There's no wall riding rule in ACC. Definitely doing some. Oh, there we go. It's given up. After all that, he's gonna have to reset to pits. Oh, he's still trying to go. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. No. It looks like he's reset. That's it. Whew. Stop go cleared for car number 94. That's De Rosa, but he's so far back it doesn't really matter. Schmidt with a 43 second lead. He's gained another 10 seconds in one sector on Zico. Davey is still a little bit ahead of Freddie Cabras. Actually quite a lot ahead. Can't even see Freddie on the screen. What's Capel going to do? Is he going to come and serve his stop go now? I'd be quite interested to see where he actually comes out. And is he going to serve it? And oh no, he's carrying on. Yep, he's got another 2 laps to set it anyway. It looks like it's going to stop raining in the next 10 minutes. It's still a wet track now. The rain is lashing down. Very solid driving still from Zico. Remember, he's quite new to ACC. We need some action. Come on, guys. Where's the Eroticos when you need him? Oh, he's in the pits. Actually, he's out now. Is he? No, he's still in. It's just not showing that he's in the pits. I don't know what's going on. It's the same as what happened to Weston, I think. Who I think had left. So, are we going to see Eroticos leave as well? We've only got 20 drivers still technically racing, but Tiswell and Peter haven't actually... Well, Peter I don't even think has set a lap yet. Battle a bit lower down in the order. P13 and 14, Regnix and Paul. Oh, and Paul's just gone completely off track there. He's done an Eroticos, doing some wall riding. He rejoins pretty nicely. But he has to really back off the throttle. That's a free position for Regnix, who's going to lose it immediately when he serves the stop-go penalty. BX in the pits again. So I wonder what he's doing. Is he going on for some dry tyres, potentially now? Predicting that the weather's about to stop. And he wants to do it now, as opposed to when the rain stops in a quarter of a lap's time, potentially. He's just chilling with the Eroticos in the pits. They're probably gone for a cup of tea. Talk about how the race is going. Have a little cry. See, it still says Davies half a second ahead of Cabras, but he's not. he's simply not. Cabras is actually a lot ahead of Davies, so Davies had a mistake somewhere. Cabras back into the top 3. This is the problem with these timing screens. They don't want to tell you. There's Cabras. He's 17 seconds behind Zico now, and he's 3.7 ahead of Davey. Oh, here we go. Sylph versus Capel, it looks like. Capel putting up a good little battle against the pole sitter here. Capel could be on the podium, really, if he hadn't made his mistakes. Although we could be saying that about 10, 15 drivers, to be honest. So can he go for a move into this braking zone here? There's only really one dry line, and he punts Capel! Oh dear. And somehow Capel doesn't end up spinning into the gravel. That's some interesting physics for you. He was completely sideways, and now he's facing the right way. Morrow does clear his stop-go penalty. It says he's in 12th, but he's not. He's a lot lower. I'll tell you in about 5 minutes when he crosses the sector line. I think it'll be difficult for Morrow to get into the top 10. 25 minutes of race where it's going to stop raining. It's going to get more progressively dry. I'm not sure if we're going to see a properly dry track where everyone can fully push. Ooh. A little bit shaky around the carousel, but takes it really nicely in the end for Schmidt. Capel still holding up this really fast McLaren behind him, Sylph. It's like a Star Wars reference. But he is struggling. You can tell Capel doesn't have anywhere near as much speed around this section of the track as Sylph does. But yeah, he's defending well. Everyone knows. Actually, there's been this big discussion on the GT side of the server that Capel is like the most infuriating driver to have in front of you because he's not good. He's not easy to overtake, and Sylph might be finding this out now. Capel's good at placing his car in a position that prevents you from going for a cheeky little dive. He knows all the tricks in the trade that everyone likes to try and do, and covers them off pretty well. And he's happy for you to bump into him, because you'll just get a penalty for it. so yeah, really frustrating for some of the faster guys, and Sylph might be having to negotiate that now, but he's being pretty patient here. Look at that, Capel going defensive already into this corner. And Sylph's trying to get the cut back, but it's not going to work on a wet track as easily as it could have on a dry one. Now we're going into a carousel. Looks like BX has lost some positions here. Down to 13th. We did see him in the pits though, so I think that might have only been because he was in the pits. He's come out some way behind Pole. He's actually got some cars a lap ahead of him as well, so BX a lap down. Quite depressing sight to see. Schmidtek's almost got a minute lead on everyone else. It's like the Lewis Hamilton in Mercedes kind of dominance around this track since the rain started. Or is it just because he's the only one who knows how to drive in the rain or set up his car for wet weather? I don't know. He's the only one who's potentially kept it on track. Davy's still stuck behind Cabras. Looks like someone else has just left the server as well. Everyone's had enough. I hope people who leave or just like park up in the pits after lap 1 don't score points in this series though. You should have to at least complete 75% of the race. Onto the back straight goes Davy. He's way too far behind Cabras to have any kind of luck at a move. Freddie doing a little bit of weaving there, trying to break the toe, but I don't think he has to worry about that anyway, because the toe isn't really existent up the hill here. Not from that gap anyway. Now, can he get it slowed down in time? Obviously, you have to adjust your braking for these really heavy braking zones quite substantially when it's wet. So on the braking into turn 1, we've only got 19 minutes left, which I think is about 3 laps. Oh, really curved it, does Freddie, in the entry to turn 1. Nearly hits the tyres in turn 2, but gets through. The gap to Davy is going to be pretty small now as we're going through the GP section. Once again, the gap between P1 and 2 is over a minute now. What's Sylph up to? Sylph is ahead of Capel. So, and Capel still has his stop-go penalty to serve. Let's see if he serves it on this lap. Really keen to see where he comes out. Looks like Sylph is coming into the pits anyway, and Capel's the one carrying on, so he's going to serve it on the next lap. It is not raining anymore, which is really crucial. The track has gone from wet condition to damp condition, so we are slowly drying out now. And that is why Sylph has come into the pits. He's going to put on some dry tyres for the rest of the race, which means he should be quit pretty quick, but with only 18 minutes left, I don't know if you're going to gain a full pit stop on the people who just elect to stay out, especially considering the track's still damp. We don't know how long it's going to stay damp for. Good racing. There's been some incidents. Let's just say that. I don't think I've seen many overtakes. We've seen overtakes on this straight, obviously. Don't think I've seen any other overtakes on any other part of the track. Reg is currently all on his own, 82 seconds back. He still has his stop-go 30 to spend as well. Everyone outside the top 10. Morrow down in 13th. This is not a place for a two-time champion to be driving around in, for sure. Yeah, Davey putting a lot of pressure on Freddie, so let's stick with this battle now. Now that we're in the north, Nord again. What can Davey do? With the tracks drying, the Zico's not actually that far ahead as well. Zico's blown a pretty massive lead over P3 and P4. Oh, he's off. He's in the wall. There we go. What a way to lose a podium there. He's back on track. But, yeah, the damage might actually have been fairly minor there. He's gonna have to. He's got a huge gap to Sylph behind, who's actually come into the pits as well, so he might not even be P6 anymore. Freivogel would be the next person. But yeah, Davey just gifted a position. Now he can see P2 in his sights, and Davey might actually finish this race in second place if he can catch Zico, who's only 3 seconds ahead at this stage. You got Andy Cabras in the pits as well, so he's going potentially, well, loads of people sat in the pits here, but Andy's in the pits from the lead guys, and I think he's going to be going on for some dries. It's still a damp track. Yeah, Davey's definitely closing the gap now. Zico's just completely lost all the performance in that BMW on these last few laps, potentially losing pressure in the tyres. That's what can do it to you. But he's still keeping it on the track. Maybe he's just trying to be careful for the rest of the race. How's Andy doing? Andy is still not too far away from these guys, despite hitting the wall. So yeah, oh, Zico nearly going off track there. Going wide all the way around that corner. And now Davey's really breathing down his neck. Look at the minimap. There's hardly any cars on track now. Oh man, it definitely has been a race, one of the races of all time. Here we go. Davey's fancying P2 now. He's been very patient all race. Didn't look like he had great pace at the start of the race. Completely got dropped by the top 3, but it looks like he's going to get P2 sewn up pretty soon. Unless Zico can defend for the next 15 minutes incredibly well here. So stop-go cleared for Regnix. And Davey's going alongside. This isn't really a good part of the track to do overtaking on. They're still side by side. Zico's given him the room, and I think he's not really fought it too well. Davey's actually gone off track to get the move done, but he's got it sewn up there, and now he's in P2 and is presumably going to start driving away from Zico now. That was pretty tidy. Freddie Cabras still lurking in the background as well, so he's not completely out of the podium contention. Yeah, you can see how much more grip Davey has. How's Capel doing? He's got a 27-second gap to Freivogel behind him, but he does have a 30-second stop-go, so he's definitely going to come out in P7, I reckon. Sylph, who could have potentially... Oh, who's number 57? BX has just reset to pits as well, so he's had a mistake somewhere. He's reset to pits. It's been an absolute nightmare for BX. Was expecting him to be one of the more dominant drivers here, but he's had to reset and fix his damage once again. Yeah, there you can see BX just in the middle car there. So that promotes Andy Cabras up into 10th place. Omord is in 9th. Sylph is in 8th. Capel, after he serves his stop-go, I reckon is going to be 7th, which means Andy will be in 6th. Freivogel would be in 5th. And then we've got a nice little battle between Zico, Davey, and Freddie Cabras. They're all still pretty close. I think Zico is the one who's struggling the most out on pace-wise. Freddie was doing really well, but went into the wall. He's trying to recover from that. He's still got his windscreen wipers on, but it's definitely not raining. Andy, what's happened? into the wall. He gets going again. He's lost that position to Morrow. Can he just limp home? Just a lap and a half, mate. That's all you need to do. Who's behind him? That's Pole. Pole's cruising up behind him. He's going to get that position. Yeah, and he's not trying to fight that one at all. He knows that his car's very badly bruised. He just wants to survive at this point. Scanlon might get him as well. He's not too far back. Davey just coming onto the back straight now. There's Zico. Freddy Cabras. A little bit further back. The track's still damp though. It's not drying as quickly as these guys probably expected it to. So at the final corner, Davey looked a little bit slow coming out of that final corner. Zico's closed the gap a little bit. Yellow flag still out for one of the resetting to pits, I think. Yeah, Zico 1.2 behind. He still has a chance of reclaiming this P2. They are going to get 2 more laps in. Most people are going to get 2 more laps in. So let's see what Capel's going to do. He has to service stop go on this lap. He's been extending his lead on Freivogel as well. It's been going pretty good for Capel. He might be able to catch maybe Winters and Freivogel before the end. And yeah, it looked like he definitely was going under 50 as he knocks over the the pit limiter side. He comes into service stop go. That's going to promote Freivogel and Winters. Looks like BX is back in the pits again. Maybe he's given up now. I don't know. So yeah, here comes Freivogel and Winters, who are still pretty close to each other. They spent the whole race fairly close to each other, so very evenly paced. So Freivogel back into the top 5 again. Winters is going to be promoted to 6th. What is Silth going to do? Is he going to overtake Capel? I don't think it's going to be enough. Capel's still at standstill though, so potentially it is. Yeah, it is. So Capel's going to be at least down to 8th now, actually. And here comes O'Morda. Capel's just got going again. Silth has beaten him into turn 1. You can see Capel just behind. Coming in now. And Silth is quite... and O'Morda, sorry, is just coming into the braking zone as well. So he's not too far behind Capel. He could be finishing in the top 8 by the end of this one. Morrow is in the top 10. A long way off. Gaining an extra position. Ooh, nearly goes off track. Manages to keep it on. It's a massive damage limitation for Morrow, actually managing to get 10th place. Weatherston is almost taking maximum points. This is double. This is like finishing 2nd twice and Morrow finishing 10th twice. So this is putting one pinky, I would say, on the trophy for Davey this season. Even though he's 70 seconds off the lead right now. Crazy. Zico's still 3 seconds behind him. Freddy Cabras is all over the back of Zico now. He wants that podium position. This is what we've seen with Zico in ACC. He does get into the top 3 but struggle to stay there for the entirety of the race. But yeah, he's not getting that close to Zico now. Zico's actually started to pull away from him a bit on the infield section. Yep, Capel wasn't allowed to do any changes on his car, put in any fuel, change his tyres, fix any damage when he was serving that stop-go. Even if you served it, even afterwards, you're not allowed to do that. Maybe Winter's just comfortable in P6. He's not really troubling Freivogel. And Freivogel's been driving with a damaged car for half the race as well. Yeah, Zico definitely driving away as well. Let's see. Come on. Pole's come into the pits. I'm not sure why. But that's going to lose him some time for sure. He's got damage, but I mean, I'm pretty sure this would have been... Well, actually, no, he'd have had 2 more laps. But he's going to lose a position. Oh, Scanlon's coming in as well. So why are these guys coming into the pits? Cabras is not coming into the pits, but he is going to just completely cut the track. His car is very badly beaten up. I'm surprised he's still going. He's doing a better job of keeping it on track than Eroticos did. And I think Cabras might be one of the lowest people on track. Here's Dan, but Dan is multiple laps down on him. So he's just unlapping himself at this point. Look at that. He's in an abusive relationship with his Ferrari. There you go, another hit. And he's still stuck behind, and here's Freddy still stuck behind as well. Let's see, we're not too far away. Oh, and Zico's just lost a lot of traction, I think, on the exit of that corner, and Freddy's just got past him with ease there. Oh, and Freddy's gone deep, and Zico's going to get the position back. They're still side by side, and yep, Zico's got that position back. So just as quickly as Freddy got the position, he made a mistake, and Zico's got it back. Let's see how Freivogel's actually gapped Andy Winters as well. So let's stick with this one because Zico looks a little bit all over the place here. Both of them really struggling as the track has changed from damp to greasy. Oh, and Freddy's off track and he's in the wall. These guys are trying to push these cars a little bit too hard on the greasy surface, and Freddy's definitely lost out on his podium there, unless Zico or Davey ahead make big mistakes, but Davey's completely driven off. Zico is looking very comfortable now. Freddy's got some damage, but should still have more than enough to finish a P4. Freivogel has dropped Andy by about 3 seconds potentially. And then Silth in P7 is 4 seconds ahead of Capel, who himself is 9 ahead of Omoda. So that battle we thought we were going to see. They've all spread out again. So yeah, it's looking pretty much like a done deal now. Everyone, I'm just going to continue probably cycling through just to see if anyone has any accidents. But if you look at Schmidt, he's coming into the pits. I mean, he can do. I don't know what the point of this is.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it away.
He is on his final lap. He's going to do a pit stop and just put on some fresh tyres, I assume. I don't know why everyone's coming into the pits at the end of this race. It's not making any sense here. So is Davey actually going to potentially go into the lead? A 70-second pit stop? It depends what he's doing. We don't know what he's doing in the pits. Answers on a postcard as to why you would pit with 1 lap to go. Looks like someone else has come in behind him. Someone who's a lap down. That is Tidswell. Tidswell? He's gone out. He's gone out to see the checkered flag. It's not how you meant to do a race, but fair dues. Yeah, so Schmidt's out, and he's gonna be just ahead of Davey, unless Davey decides to come in. If he does, then I don't know what's gonna be going on here. No, he's staying out. Of course he is. But Schmidt is out and into turn 1 here. And Davey's not going to be too far behind. There's BX coming out to see the checkered flag as well, so everyone deciding to come out right at the end for some reason. Yeah, so the finishing results are going to make it look a lot closer than what it should be. Is Freddie going to come into the pits? I mean, he could come in and still come out ahead of Freivogel if he wants, but he's going to carry on. No reason to do that. Freivogel's way too far behind. So all these guys are going to finish their lap and actually complete another lap, which is going to be... it's going to take a long time for us to see the checkered flag. There's Scanlon. He's on the Nord. Andy Cabras just coming out after his pit stop. He's dropped down to 14th place now. What's the gap between Schmidt and Weatherston? It's probably 5 or 6 seconds at this point. BX is in the mix, but multiple laps down. Zico's now got 28 seconds on Freddie Cabras. Remember, at the end of the sector before last, Freddie was 4 tenths ahead of Zico. So that's how much things have changed. Number 24, who's he? Who's number 24? Come on. There is no number 24. Maybe it's 243. It's Dan. Dan's had a spin. He's been struggling. He's going slow again. And he's got more damage. So it lasted a couple of laps. I'm amazed that so many people are still on the lead lap, to be honest. With all the incidents that we've seen. Davey getting hounded by BX here. BX obviously on some fresh tyres, deciding to go back out. This is the final lap, but our lead driver on the final lap has only just entered the Nord. Everyone else is really spaced out. There's no battles going on at all. Omoda's come into the pits. Why? Why? You're in 9th place, man. Do you not have enough fuel or something? Are your tyres that wrecked? So, Davies let BX unlap himself. That's probably the most action we're going to see on this final lap. Schmidt absolutely flying here. Let's see what the gap is to Davey after his pit stop at least. The gap is huge still. It's 14 seconds. That's probably just the fresh tyres. Schmidt's just taking advantage. And he's going to rebuild that gap up by the end of the lap, potentially, because it definitely was only a few seconds when he came out the pits, and that's just one of the sectors. Because that's the difference some fresh tyres can make, and that's probably why people are putting on the fresh tyres for the final lap. They know that they can make a lot of time. Here's Andy Winters struggling with Sylth trying to get the move done. He chops off Sylth and then goes a little bit wide. Sylth is being very careful not to make any contacts, getting out of the way pretty nicely there. Yeah, and he's just trying to line him up for a move. Andy's struggling to hit the apexes. He's alongside again, but it's not an ideal part of the track to be alongside. Oh, he's getting squeezed to the inside by Andy, and he has actually got fully ahead. Let's see if he can maintain that into the braking for these next corners. And it looks like he's got P6 on up at least. Yeah, he's driving away pretty comfortably, to be honest. Capel's gapped on order by another about 10 seconds, it looks like. Zico has caught up to the back of Davey on this final lap. So Davey's completely lost his tyres. Completely struggling here. Zico's trying to line up a move to try and get this P2 back in the race. Some type of Reg. Oh, he's got out the way of Morrow. Now, what's Reg going to do? Because he does have to do another lap here. And his car looks pretty badly damaged. And, whoa! Andy Winters looks like he's reset to pits as well. Okay, so he's messed up somewhere and had to reset. It's all kicking off on this final lap. Cars are struggling. So that's not... Andy's not going to finish in the top 10 now. So that's going to promote Capel up to 7th. Omoda's going to be up to 8th. Morrow up to 9th, which he'll be very happy with considering the gap was 160 seconds. Zico still trying to get P2 off of Davey here. And they're going side by side again. Now the carousel's coming up here. You can't go side by side. Through the carousel, Davey's completely lost it. Zico's going to try and get around it. He does. And what's going to happen with Davey? He's gone onto the inside of the track to try and rejoin. We can't see what's going on. Once again. There we go. He's going the long way around the carousel. He's still going to be in P3. Zico has been pretty fortunate that Davey actually tripped himself up there with a rare error. BX is there, you can see just on the left, he's just in the wall trying to respin and rejoin. Davey's going to be not too far behind him. He built a huge gap ahead of Davey after unlapping himself, and despite the spin is still ahead of Davey, who's just appeared in screen at the back there as well. Where's Schmidt? He must be near the end. No, he's not actually. So he's still got some way to go before the end of the race. He's a lap up on Rotikos. So Rotikos down in 15th right now. It's a stop-go penalty for Pole. Oh man. After making an unnecessary pit stop, he's now going to lose some more time. That just gets added to the end of the race, because there's not going to be any more opportunities to set a stop-go. So it's going to be a good little P2 there for Zico in the end. It looked like he was potentially going to lose out on a podium, but other drivers making mistakes, and he has just been consistent enough. He's going to get that P2. Schmidt just coming on the back straight for the final time in this very, 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 very long race. And yeah, it's been pretty much one-way traffic. He did have a bit of a challenge on his hands. Started P3, broke away with the top guys, but had a driver who's actually just left the lobby quite a long time ago. Caught up to him, passed him, built up a 60-second lead, made a pit stop, still has a 22-second lead on the final lap. Paris, I think he's just waiting for Schmidt so that he doesn't have to set another lap here, because through goes Schmidt on the final corner, coming onto the home straight, and he's going to take a debut win in AL. I'm pretty sure it's a debut, I can't remember. So huge congratulations to him. Completely dominant victory there. Zico is going to be the next person to finish. It still says that Davies in P2, even though he's lost that position about 5 minutes ago at this point. Pretty tidy final corner. Congrats, Zico. Another strong result there. It's gonna, I think it's going to put him in the top 3 of the championship with the double points. So yeah, congrats to Zico. Davey, I think, will be in P3 in the end. No, ooh. That's not how you take the corner, guys. Nevertheless, it doesn't really matter, unless he completely messed up his car and he couldn't drive it across the finish line. He was always going to finish 3rd. 25 seconds off Zico in the end that he lost in one sector. We got a huge gap back to Cabras. Everyone else taking the checkered flag. Paris Popov and BX Royal in Tidswell taking the checkered flag at the end. Multiple laps down. Tidswell 8 laps off the back of BX. Was this his only lap that he set, potentially? But yeah, look at the gaps. 29 seconds between P1 and 2, 25 between 2 and 3. This is going to be probably like a minute between Cabras and Weatherston as well. Actually, something happened to Freddie because he's dropped 2 positions. Silth is actually going to take P4. He's actually way ahead. So 4th for Silth. Freivogel's actually going to take 5th. Freddie Cabras had an absolutely disastrous final lap with the damage on his car. But regardless, has been in the wars himself. So he's going to come across the line in 6th. Not actually that far ahead of Capel, who had his stop-go penalty to serve. But still, 6th is still pretty good, to be fair. Although I think everyone outside the top 2 will be pretty annoyed that they didn't finish higher with the mistakes that they've made. One more corner for Capel, another one who could have really finished on a podium, but should still be pretty happy with 7th. I think 7th is probably his best result of the season anyway. And it's a good time to have your best result on a double points week. So there we go, checkered flag for Capel. Oh, Morda's not even on the back straight yet. God. So it looks like Zico stayed on slicks for the whole race and he just gambled it as a tactical decision, and it's worked out for him in the end because as the track dried, it came back to him, and that's why he was losing time to Weatherston and Cabras in the wet, because he was on the wrong tyre compound. Whereas they stayed on the wets towards the end of the race, Zico stayed on the dries, and it worked out for him. Now Schmidt, I'm going to assume, was on the wet tyres, and that's why he pit right at the end to go back onto the dry. And that's why he was able to gap Zico so massively there. So there's the story behind that. Pitting for the tyres did end up being the right thing for everyone apart from Zico. And through goes Morda finally to take P8, which I think is his best result for a while as well, so I think he'll be pleased with that. Beating Morrow here, who still hasn't come onto the pit straight. Yeah, onto the back straight goes Morrow. P9, damage limitation really, considering there was what, like 25 people at the start of the race, and he's had the troubles that he's had, the damage that he had. The thing is, it's Nürburgring, so everyone gets their fair share of that, apart from a couple who've really done their homework. Here he goes, no dramas into the final corners. Look at that, everyone's leaving the lobby. It's taking so long for everyone to finish. Right, through he goes, and that is a checkered flag for him. Now we've got 3 more drivers. We've got Regnix, who's got a bit of damage, Scanlon. These guys haven't had too much fun tonight. And we've got Paul with his stop-go penalty, but I don't think that'll matter. He'll still finish 10th regardless, because he's the last driver on the lead lap. Scanlon might have an outside chance of catching Reg if Reg is going to keep doing his Eroticos lines. Here comes Scanlon, who's absolutely blasting through these final corners. Might have one position here, quite a few minutes after everyone else has taken the checkered flag. Reg really struggling to nurse that car home. Definitely not going as quick. But is it going to be just about enough? The gap was 34 seconds entering this final sector. And it's probably 1 second as it stands. AMG, no, sorry, it's 2 Aston Martins against each other as well. Now there's going to be a huge difference in braking speed. Are they going to give each other the rough stip space? Scanlon is going to get the cut back, and he's going to get that position right on the exit of the final corner. So that is 1 extra position, a good handful of extra points there for Scanlon right at the end. Finishing ahead of Regnix. And then Paul's just a little bit further behind. And yeah, if this race had lasted a couple more minutes, we'd have had some more rain as well, just to shake things up a little bit more. So, that's it now. We've got a week break from the main league. There's going to be some mid-season event, so have a look on Discord if you're interested in that. But yeah, I'll next stream in